Hey, thanks for hanging back out with us again. Today I thought I'd show you a pretty cool technique that we use called a capsule method. And recently I poured a pretty cool bait, and I had a lot of people ask questions about it. One guy even thought that we airbrushed it. So I don't even own airbrushing equipment, so I'm going to show you how we did do it. And we're going to be using the Biggin AI, Angling AI 7 1/4 open pores. And we got lots of layering and different colors we want to define and stuff, so there's a whole lot to do, so we're gonna get right to it. And as always, like, follow, and subscribe, and share this with all your friends, and we appreciate you hanging out. Let's get rocking on this. Alright, so here we have two Angling AIs, which is obviously 4 sides. What we're gonna do, we want to pour it in sections, right? So what you want, if you're looking at a bait, what you want on the outside has to be poured first. So what we're gonna do is this little fin here, we're gonna try to pour this little fin right there, and it's a kind of a pain in the butt, but we're gonna pour this fin, and then we're gonna do a capsule pour of one color across this whole thing, and then we're going to use another technique, and we use some dotting methods along this, and then we'll fill it in. So right now we're going to get this fin piece here color. We want since there's so many different layers, you don't want any layer to overpower another, so you want this layer to look dark, but not so dark that you can't see through it. It's got to still stay translucent so you can see the color run behind it too. So that will all make sense later. And we're gonna get this color done, poured up right now. So we're gonna throw some plastic in, and we're gonna get going. Now it's important when you're doing a capsule pours that temperature control is very important. Everything has to be the right temperature for it to flow right and to layer right. Now the molds right now, you just seen them, they're only on a warm setting to get a chill off of them, and while we do the fin, and then we'll crank it up a little bit more for the next one color and a little bit more for the next color. So right now they're just on a warm setting while we're waiting for our fin color to get done. And we don't want that fin, see, we can't use our traditional dead-on plastic black like we do, because it's such an awesome color that it's too dark. You won't be able to see through it, So what we're gonna do, look at that, beautiful dead-on goodness. We're gonna use this mica powder. I don't know if you can see that, called Black Hole. But we're going to use a little bit of this to give us our black effect. So let's put just a smidgen. That's all we need of that. Where's my knife? Alright, let me adjust this so you guys can see what we're doing here. Alright. Alright, get that stirred in there real good and see what we're at. Okay, now you can see it's still really thin. Here, let's see if we can see it's real thin still. So, to darken that, grab the DOP black. Now we can't put that whole drop in there. So what we're gonna do, look at that. It's like half a drop on the tip of the knife. A little bit more. Doesn't take much of that stuff. And this is key, because if you want to make sure that you can still define that fin, but you don't want it to overpower the color that's behind it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay. So let me. There. There we go. See, I don't know if you can see. This is how it looked without the drop, half a drop of black. And then that's how dark, this one's how dark it got with the black, see? No black with the black. So I think it's good. And we're gonna warm this back up and get it vacuumed out. And that's the other important thing, is that everything has to be free of bubbles, because being a skin pour or a capsule pour, you will see all the bubbles. So we're gonna get this vacuumed out, and we will be right back to show you how we do it. Alright, we got our nice plastic is done. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is tricky. The way I found is the fatter part out here, we're gonna start it there and just let gravity pour it. Now this plastic is very hot. See if I can do this on the camera. This plastic is very hot, and you want it very hot so it flows. Just let it drift down in there. You really can't see much of it. There, can you see that? Just that little bit in there. Let's see if we can get another one. Nice and slow, just a little bit across the back, and then let it flow down. Just let gravity take it. Still going. Boom. Can you see it? Okay. We'll just do these real quick. I'm not gonna lie, it is a pain in the butt to do these like this, but it sure puts a cool effect. Nice. This is actually the only, not the only one, but this is the easiest AI open pour mold to do this with, because that fin is so thick on it. The other ones, it's so thin of a spot where that fin is at, that it's almost impossible to do that. But you can see just a little bit darker right there, and that's it. That's all we're doing for that color. All right, now we're gonna do the main color body, and we're gonna use the dead on plastic goose turd, and then just a smidgen of some violet highlight powder in it. So let's get that out. Now when we're doing the capsule pour, make sure that you shake your colorants very, very well. When you're doing the capsule pour, you really want to make sure that it's a little bit darker than you think, because you're going to pour it so thin. So you want to make sure you got that darkness, but you don't want it, like everything, you don't want it so opaque you can't see through it. So we got a little bit over half, about almost 3/4 of a cup here. So we're gonna put about 20 drops of goose turd in there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright. And then let's just throw this in now. This might look white on camera, but man, this really adds a nice highlight effect to it. It really sets it off a little bit. Alright, let's stir this up and see what comes of this. Get my hand out of the way. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that little purple highlight in there. Very nice color. Yeah, see how dark that is? I think that would be good. So, I think we're good there. So what we're gonna do now is get ready to capsule pour it, okay? So we're gonna get this vacuumed out, and since you're using a such a thin layer of plastic, you really want to make sure you have all bubbles out, because you will see them. And with all the different layers in there, you can't just stick a heat gun on it, because then the colors will blend together and stuff. So you want to make sure your plastic is set, ready to go when you're ready to pour it. So we're gonna get this in the vacuum chamber, and then I'll show you how I capsule pour it. Alright, so that plastic's out of the vacuum chamber. We're just giving it, when you're doing a capsule, you want it really hot, the plastic. So the molds are still warm. Now I want to show you why that's warming up. Our goal is you want to pour just the top layer here, okay? And you want to go about halfway through that fin, but you don't want to cover the fin completely, you know? Now what we're going to do is we're going to pour it in there and then dump it all out onto this. We put this extra mold under here so we can save the plastic and reuse it. And let me grab that. When you're doing this, make sure you wear gloves at all times. Alright, so here's our goose turd with purple. Now, I hope you can see this on the camera, because you got to move quick. We're going to pour it in the head, and then down the body, and then just dump it out. Can't really turn it there. You see how it's about halfway on that fin. Okay, so there's one. Let it flow all the way the whole length, and then just dump it down and let it pour out. Hard to do this so you guys can see it. Okay, and the next one. And there we go. A little drop there. And the last one in the head. Let it flow all the way down and dump it out. And you want to hold it like that That way the edges it doesn't gum up on the edges and get thick. It's gonna go over. You can pinch that part off. But along this edge here, you'll see. Okay, cool. So now that that's done, then you just come through and just pinch. Don't scrape it, you pinch the top all the way down on each one. Just like that. Okay, so we're gonna get those cleaned up and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, so here we got this is our dotting pigment, and then our taped up tips, and you want to just tip the end. See how the paint's going across though? Well, scrape it off so that way there's only paint on the bristles, not in between them, you know, from it stringing through. And then I like to put my hand down for support, and I'm just gonna go like that, slowly dab it all the way down to the tail, and then come back. And just fill it in just on the spot that you covered. Make sure you don't put it on the mold itself. Okay, and see? And then if you notice, get that glare out of there, you notice how I went right over the fin, because the layer effect, that will look like it's going behind the fin then. So we're gonna get this done real quick on the other ones. Alright, see there? That's where we're at so far. And see, it's just on the goose turd color we poured, and about halfway up that fin. So now the next step is we are going to put them all together, put all the hook slot specs together. Little spray over there, no problem, just pinch it off. I like to do it that way. Alright, so we're gonna get clamped up, and then I'm gonna show you how we pour the belly color, and we'll be right back. Alright, we got the hot plate we kicked up to about 200 degrees. Okay, now that's over there. I don't know if you can see over there, clamped up, ready to go. And we're got our dead on goodness. Look how clear that is. Freaking beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna use some Snow Shine, a fabulous dead on color. 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay. So that's about 15 drops. And then another awesome color. I love this color, grit. It's kind of like a dirty white, but we're just gonna put a few drops. Let's do 5 drops in it. 4, 5. Let's see what happens, because you don't want it really opaque. You still want it the translucent, but it's also going behind the other colors, so you want to highlight the other colors with it. So it's got to be right in between, like a medium transparency, you know, kind of, so you can still cast get light shine through it, but it's not gonna overwhelm it has behind in front of it. We're gonna do a couple more drops here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that really evened out. Nice. A little dirty light. That's what I like to describe it as. A little dirty white. Alright, so I think that's good now. We're gonna throw this in the vacuum chamber and we'll show you how we pour the bellies. Alright, now we got that grit belly. Now we're gonna pour it very slowly in here, and we want to go just into the tail. I hope you can see it. We're gonna go over the hook slot and then slightly into the tail, but not all the way down into the tail. Just about halfway up the leg of that tail before it hits the down, before it starts going down. Nice and slow though, pour slow. Now remember, the molds are hot now, so the plastic's a little bit cooler. Remember, hot molds, cool plastic, cool molds, hot plastic. Now the power of heat and temperature on this thing is just gonna pull that. It's gonna pull this color right where we want it to go. See, this one's already down here. This one's right here. It's getting there. Now that heat is gonna just pull it in the direction we need it to go and just gonna thin it right out. Now you remember the capsule pour we did with the goose turd and purple highlight color on the outside? Well, we're gonna use that and we're gonna just fill in this top and just top it off. So we're gonna do that next. So we're getting that goose turd heated back up, and we just turned the temp on the hot plate. We turned it up to about 320, and that's gonna bond all these different layers together, thermal bond all these layers together. So these will be very hot, which means our top color, that means we're gonna pour that plastic cool, because the molds will be very hot and it's gonna flow where it's gotta go. Remember, cool molds, hot plastic, cool molds. Right, here's our ghost turd with the purple in it, and we're gonna just top them off nice and slow. And we got the temperature on the heat plate, we got up to about 320. So just nice and easy. Woo! Hard to do around the camera. Feel nice and slow. You want just a hair above the top, not much. Now fill this next one in, nice and easy. It's going to be in the way of the camera for a second. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Nice and easy. Alright, there you have it. I don't know if you can see that highlight, that purple in there. Yeah, a little bit. Nice. Got a little bit of spray over there, but that's okay. We can fix that up. And that's those. Alright, so those are poured. We're gonna let them sit on that heat and cook, so all the different layers can bond together, and they'll probably take about 5 minutes. Then we'll cut the power off and let it cool down naturally at its own, temperature, and gradually, slowly cool down and while leaving it on the hot plate. It takes about an hour and a half to cool down. So once it's cooled down, we'll cross our fingers and hopefully it worked out, and we'll be right back to show you how it looks. Alright, so we're back, and it's been about an hour and a half. They're cooled down. So let's check these things out and let's hope that it worked. Let me get this situated for you. Look at that. Can you see that purple in there? I don't know if you can see it or not. Cool. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Look at that, huh? Look, where's my little pointer thing here? And you see how this fin, you can see it on the outside. You can see this color goes like behind it. Huh? Look at that, huh? Turn this off for a minute. It might be too dark. I don't know. Let me, Here, let me just get these out. Oh, yes. Alright. This is a little bit better. You see that? Look at that little purple tint to it. Very cool, huh? Alright. We're going to get some eyes on there. And then show you the finished. Alright. We got these awesome Jetson lure eyes here. I think we're going to use. Mr. Chris Jones gave those to us. They're from Jetson Lures, some of the best eyes you can buy. Now people, when they put on their eyes, you notice how it like goes to a tip? It's not perfectly round, the black part of it. Well, you gotta like, that should be pointing forward. You always gotta have, a lot of people put all this time into their pour and then they don't pay attention to the eye orientation. And see, it's going that way. So it needs to go toward the nose. Just a dab of glue, drop it in there, and then I use one of them little Q-tips I showed you for doing the dots. This is one of the things we use them for. That little tip on the iris pointing forward. Eye orientation is very important. There, check that out, huh? Huh? What do you think of that? And see how you can tell that fin's there, but it's not overwhelming. And it looks like this color, you can see how it goes behind that fin. Yeah. Look at that tint. That purple tint in it. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Alright, that I think we'd call that a successful pour. The capsule method is really fun. You can do that same technique, but change like everything about it, the colors and everything. And I mean, unlimited possibilities of what you could do. This is just one example of what I do with the capsule method. But yeah, I hope you liked it. And thanks for hanging out with us like always. And make sure you like and share and all that stuff. And till next time, thanks for hanging out.